Buddy, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being my first fucking person on
We
here.
can swear?
Yeah, we can swear.
Okay,
this is my show. I can
dropping F-bombs.
Yeah, man. I don't care about that at all.
No, I'm prim and proper.
Sweet.
I'm good.
So I actually wanted to start this off with like how I first actually met you. So I actually want to tell this story. So it was at the Rogers because we used to work at Rogers together.
I was trying to remember.
Yeah,
we know each other a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So it was at Rogers where we met first, and I walked in. I remember because I was doing the classes. I was doing a kettlebell class there.
Yes, specialty program.
Yes. And I would always do personal training. So before my class, I would be there, and I would literally probably watch you for like 5 minutes, on and off. Just like, what is this guy doing? You know what I mean? Scanning, like, cause I always feel like cause with condo life, I'm always at condos and I would see trainers train and then I'm like looking at them like, okay, cool. Like, what is he doing? Like, how is he talking to his client? Like, what are the warm up techniques they're using? Like, what's happening? You know what I mean? Like, and I always kind of like, not necessarily want to use it personally, but just like to see how other people do it. Cause in my industry, it's hard. Like, as you know, it's hard to like see people in their element, like see their trainers in their element to a certain degree.
So was that good?
Yeah, man. Well, like, it was inspiring. It was always inspiring.
You catch me on my phone, like texting. Yeah, give me another rep. Okay, 2 more. 2 more.
No, because I noticed that, and I noticed that with other trainers, and I'm just like, fuck, you're not for real. You know, like you're not for real, and that's why when I saw you, it was like, hey, what is this guy about? Like, and I would like, who's Julian? And I was just like, and I would find out, like, you would be able to see, like whatever from like either your website or like from your Instagram to be able to see like what you're about. And from there, I was like, all right, I like this guy.
Back then, were we on Instagram?
What's that?
Were we on Instagram back then? Like,
yeah, or Facebook, or maybe
4 or 5 years ago,
or maybe Facebook. But like, yeah, Instagram's been around since what, like 2011?
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah.
So like, it
has been a while though.
Yeah, it's been a while. So like to see that like change and everything, but like from the get go, I was like, okay, this is the kind of level that like, you know, I would like to aspire to be, because you have like a lot of like, education, right? You have a lot of things that you've done, and it's important to have those things. And a lot of trainers don't really take the time to educate themselves. They rather spend it on things like, you know, getting new pieces of equipment or getting new clothes or shit like that, versus like educating themselves so they can better their clients. Right? Okay, sweet. So I wanted to just go through like a couple of different things that you've done. So I read actually your piece on Furthermore.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, the
mindsets?
Yes.
Okay.
The most recent one. So like, how does it feel to be like featured on like things like, because I know you've been featured on other blogs and other websites and other things like that. So how do you feel like usually when you do something like that?
Like super humbled.
Yeah.
Very, very humbled, because the way that I express myself best in this time of my life is through writing.
Yeah. Okay.
I love to creative write. I love to do poetry.
Yeah. I
like long form write, blog writing, research, and all that kind of stuff. I just find that writing allows me to convey my ideas much more smooth, but expressive, also respecting science. Whereas when I speak, so when you asked me to come on the podcast, speaking is not my forte for some reason. Maybe I smile too much, and my mouth gets all locked up and whatnot. I don't know. I just don't find that I can express myself the best. I'm working on it. Yeah. Public speaking as well has always been like a thing that, But to be featured on these either blogs or just platforms to share information to the general public is super humbling, and I find it continues to excite me. Yeah. And it gives me more reason to share what I know, but also do more research and also stay relevant to the industry, because if these guys like Furthermore, Equinox, if they're asking me to write about, you know, what I'm doing, like if they're interested in ultramarathon running and they're interested in sports psychology, that is like that's a huge hint of what's popping, what's gonna pop,
exactly,
and why they're looking at me, you know, as opposed to, you know, track and field for example, you know. So it's a good segue into the market, and vice versa. So it's cool that you read the Furthermore blog, because not many of us, we're all doing our own thing, but to gain insight into the marketplace and see what the general population enjoys, it's a huge thing.
It's huge. And well, like, and
smart.
Yeah. Well, like, I find just like being able to be able to like look at other people and what they're doing, and like being able to like, even though that's not my forte in terms of like ultra marathons or things like that, I think it's very interesting, because it's still the psychology behind it is very important. Like, to be able to do something like that, to run 100K, just like is insane, and to have that mental fortitude to do that is crazy. So like, yes, I think it's important for these blogs and websites to feature people like you, because it's important to see what kind of mindset you have to have. People think it's like 100K, or like they see marathons, they see people do marathons all the time. They're like, oh, okay. But like, to actually know what it takes, and like, because people just stop doing things all the time, right? They will start something and then they stop, right? You know, like, you have clients that will start something and then not necessarily finish it. And I think if people understand the mindset that they need to have in order to achieve that goal, then that's the biggest part.